Okay. Now we talked about the cyber security. We talked about initially the problem in the present networks and the kind of threats which are evolving. Then we talked about what exactly kind of malicious behaviors are happening. And then we talked about what is exactly the cyber security. Okay. So that is whatever is the legitimate behavior which you expect, the system should work accordingly. Okay. But the problem is with the adversary, we are not able to carry out that. For that reason, we try to use all the mechanisms, tools, process, people need training and other things like that. And this slide talks about the various security solutions which have evolved over the period, okay, in order to secure our systems and networks. Okay, now what is actually the network security? Okay, so now we are a subset of cyber security is nothing but your network security. So now whenever you enable the transmission, or you can, when you make two people to communicate with each other over the network, okay, we need to provide the security. That's the requirement. Okay, that means over the network, when two entities are interacting with each other, we should enforce the security for this particular access. Across these two entities, we should be able to enable a secure transmission. So that is exactly called network security. Why do we need it? Why do we enforce the security for the transmission? The reason is there are so many threats. People may try to monitor your traffic, and they peep into the traffic, and they may steal the sensitive information, data going over the wire, or sometimes unauthorized people may try to behave as legitimate people. Like that, there are a lot of threats. Some people may try to modify the data over the wire. Like that, these are all the different issues. So that's why we need a network security. How you are going to provide that network security? So first we saw that what is the security, because reason we need to provide the secure transmission across two different entities over the wire or wireless. Okay, why we need it? There are so many threats through which the data may not received properly, or maybe legitimate people may involve in the communication. How do you provide this network security? For that, we try to depend on various mathematical transformations which are available, using which we'll be able to provide network security to address the various security issues. Okay, so hope it's okay. You have any issues, you can just mention, like if you have any specific queries at this stage, or if you have any queries, you can put it in the chat, and we can, in between, we can keep interacting, or we can take up after some time the queries. So if you put it in the chart, actually, at least I'll get some idea whether you are following or not. Is it okay? The speed is okay. We have covered almost 30 minutes where we tried to just give an overview and the need for network security. Okay, we just landed in talking about the need for network security. Okay, okay, fine. Okay, I'm just receiving some kind of feedback. Hope the speed is okay. If I'm going fast or anything, you please let me know. Okay, okay. Otherwise, I'll try to reduce my speed. Otherwise, I just assume that if it is fine, I will just proceed. Okay, okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, nice. Actually, okay. Let us take it up. Fine. So now this slide, just you look at it. Now we said that there are various threads over the network. When two people interact with each other, it can be anything. Just you try to visualize. See, now from your machine, you are trying to connect to some kind of banking application. So you have an account in ICICI Bank, or you have an account in the Bank of India, and you have gone for internet banking. So what you'll do, from your browser, you are able to connect to the server, and you are trying to interact. So now what is that? There is a transmission happening from your browser on your local machine to the bank site, right? So what happened is all the transmission should be going securely. Similarly, whenever you are trying to access your email account, okay, so email server may be available somewhere else, or you are trying to do some purchase, online purchase. See, traders try to visualize to any case, okay, but ultimately two entities over the network are trying to interact with each other for a particular purpose. Okay, so now what is that? If you look at the first box, this is the kind of normal flow we expect. Okay, so that means whenever two entities want to interact with each other or to communicate with each other, if they are legitimate, the client is trying to access to the right server, the service should be available. So if I have an account in a particular site, okay, a particular bank or something, then whenever I try to access, I should be able to access that particular service. Okay, and now no other third person should come into picture. The communication, whatever is happening, they only should interact with each other, and the communication should happen properly. Okay, no one should be able to tap or modify or any kind of thing should happen. Only the legitimate people should communicate, and they should be allowed to access the service. But in reality, this may not be the case. right? So one possibility is the interruption. First, the very basic problem is I may be interrupted from accessing the service itself. I am not allowed to connect the banking side. I am not allowed to connect to the online shopping site. So what kind of problems can be there? Very simple, can vary from simple things like cable cut. Maybe the cable, the internet facility itself is gone. Cable might be cut, or maybe some kind at the other end, the power is not there with the server. It can be anything. The simple case. But these kind of things you can easily rectify. Okay, many times it happen at home also. Whenever you don't have internet access or something, you call them and say, so there is a cable cut or fiber optic problem is there, we'll rectify in one day, something like that, it will be solved. But more than that, intentionally adversary will try to launch denial of service kind of attacks, okay, on the server. That means they bombard the server with the lot of correction requests, so which stops the legitimate people from accessing. Because whenever you talk about a particular service, there is always a threshold on the maximum number of people who can request that particular service. Okay, so now once it reaches that saturation, the legitimate people will not be allowed to correct that. So it happens, especially when the CBSE results and other things are on, JEE main, JEE advanced and all. No, so what happens is the people will be struggling sometimes. From morning they keep connecting, and they see adversaries keep trying this, because if you look at JEE mains and all, almost 12 lakh people will write the exam. CBSE, it is much larger than that particular thing, 10th class and other things. So adversaries want to have some kind of pleasure in doing these kind of things, right? They're intellectuals, but at the same time they want to cause some kind of damage. Okay, what they do, they try to bombard the things. For that reason, we make sure that our servers are protected from denial of service. Sometimes we reboot the services quite often. Sometimes we deploy a lot of traffic analysis kind of tools, ideas and other things, so that you can analyze, and based on that you can detect whether it is a legitimate request or only from a specific set of IPs you are getting this, all these kind of analysis. So this one problem is legitimate people will be interrupted from the accessing the service itself. This is one of the security issues. Second issue is modification. So whatever the person who claimed to so and so involved in the communication and send some state value, the data is not received intact at the other end. That means whatever the sender sent to the other end, it is not received exactly the same. In between, a third person or the adversary is trying to modify that. Okay, the receiver may not be knowing whether it is the same thing what the sender has sent or someone is involved. Okay, without his knowledge, he just takes that data. This is another threat in our networks. So the third one is basically interception. In the interception case, what happened? You in the first day you would have heard about something Wireshark and Ethereal tool, right? So while talking about TCP/IP protocol stack and all, what happens? So adversary may not damage anything. He's not modifying the communication, but he's silently capturing the packets. So he's sitting at another system and filtering out all the packets going on particular IP. Now what happened? So he is intercepting the packets and listening to the communication. Though sender and receiver are not directly affected in this particular case, while he intercepted and listening to the communication, he may end up with some sensitive details about a corporate, or it can be PIN number, passwords, or something like that. Later, they can try to have an unauthorized entry into such systems. Okay, so though they are not actively disturbing the state of these two, but they may be collecting some sensitive information through the communication, which may be later used for damaging the some kind of thing with a bad intention. Okay. Now the fourth problem is the fabrication problem. So let us say so and so. Like for example, I will take Naresh gets some communication telling that this information is coming from Lakshmi. Okay. But what happens is Lakshmi does not know anything about the communication, because I was not involved. I am not sending anything. But he got some communication telling that this information coming from Lakshmi. So he will start responding to that. So what happened? There is an unauthorized entity who claims to be so and so person and is trying to involve in the communication. He's fabricating. Okay. So in this particular case, what happened? It is a threat against the authenticity. Okay. So what happened? So people, it's very important to verify the origin and authenticate the people. That becomes very important. So fabrication is another threat. And another most important is a repudiation problem. Okay. Hope we all have some kind of, we all know the importance of signatures in the physical world, right? Okay. Now I'll give an example. So now suppose let us say you are the head of the department or something like you are heading as a particular section. So from your team members, you'll get a lot of files, right? You'll get a lot of files. Okay. So, and what is your job? Actually, you need to look at the content in each of these things, and you need to approve that particular thing. So they say that, okay, I need this particular service, I need to buy this particular thing, or okay, something like that. I need to apply leave for some time, like that. You will be getting a lot of requests. Each and every file or each and every approval note comes to you. You are trying to sign. Okay. What is that? What does it mean in the physical world when you sign a particular paper? You are the authorized person. Okay, that means, see, you are the authorized person to approve some activity. So the people who come with the request to you, you are going through that particular paper content and you are putting a signature. Okay, see, it's not that your rubber stamp can be taken and you can put it the same rubber stamp the team members can put on each and every approval note. It is not like that, right? So the signature on each and every paper is very important, because you are going through the content of that particular paper or document, and you are agreeing to the content by putting a signature on that. If I have 100 requests like that, you have to look at each and every 100 requests, right? So that is the way. Tomorrow, if someone says that, tomorrow, if you say that I have not, I don't know about that, I never approved that particular paper, then your team members can come to you and say, no, sir, you have done this particular job at that point of time. See, your signature is there, like that. Okay. So that is the way you will be able to prove with the third party, telling that whether you are really involved in the communication or not. So in a similar kind of situation occurs even in the digital world also. So I might have sent a communication, or I might have received a communication, but tomorrow I may deny that I am not part of the communication. That is a repudiation problem. Okay, how do we address this? So similar to the way we have the signatures in the physical world, we need to have something called as a digital signatures, through which we will be able to address the repudiation problem. Okay, now just these are the very, very simple things, but actually it's very, very important to understand before we go to the cryptography algorithms and other things. Okay, so now first thing is interruption. That means first, the availability of service is very important. If you are a legitimate user, you should be given access to that. But the threat is, or issue is interruption. I may be stopped from that particular thing. Second one is the modification. So two people are involved in the communication. So whatever sender has sent, it is not intact, but in between a third person has come and modified. Okay, this is not the expected behavior in our networks. Third case is two people communicating over the wire or wireless, whatever it is, channel. Now third party is listening to the communication, which is another not the anticipated or the required behavior. Okay. The fourth case, unauthorized people are trying to claim themselves as some authorized people and involved in the communication. This is another threat. And the last one is a repudiation problem, where so sender or receiver may deny, telling that they were not part of the communication, though they are part of the communication. So in that case, we should have a proof we should have some kind of details available with us, through which we'll be able to prove whether they are involved in the communication or not. Okay. Now these are the typical security issues which we face in our networks. Okay. See, I am not addressing all the problems. I am just looking at two people or two entities interacting over the wire. In that case, what kind of security is required? That's the kind of the thing which we are trying to focus. Okay. So now, what are the requirements in our services? Security, availability of the service is very important. Integrity of the communication. That means whatever sender is trying to send, it should be intact at the other side. Okay. So in case if some changes and all happen, we should be able to detect the modification. Third, next one is the confidentiality. Whenever someone tries to intercept, they should not get anything out of it. Okay. So confidentiality of the communication is other than the authorized two entities, ends of the particular communication. No other person should be able to see what is going on. Authenticity. Okay, we should have authenticity of the people who are involved in the communication. Non-repudiation. That means we should be able to prove whether so and so is really involved in the communication and other things. Okay, these are the services which we require. Okay, whenever we talk about the first requirement. Okay, these are requirement and these are all required. Now, availability of the service, that is for to provide a service to address the problem interruption. That means you are interrupted. So this cannot be addressed with the cryptographic algorithms kind of thing, but this can be addressed by using a combination of the traffic analysis and host level analysis. Okay, traffic analysis, you monitor continuously about what IP address, from where the requests are getting bombarded on the server continuously, and which all the machines have some kind of specific agent. Okay, which is some kind of executable can exist on the end system, which is going to act like a bot or something like that, through which it is trying to bombard the things. Okay, like that, we need to carry out such kind of things to protect or to enable the availability. Okay, whereas integrity, confidentiality, authenticity, and non-repudiation, all these services can be provided by using the cryptographic algorithms. Okay, that means all these 4 network security services can be provided by the section of the mathematics, that is the cryptographic algorithms, through which we can provide all these 4 kind of things.